Okay, so something that I've been thinking about for the last couple of weeks and that I've seen be discussed a lot online is dead internet theory, and also just the amount of AI that we now see on social media. Something that triggered me investigating this a little bit more and thinking about it a little bit more is probably the most boomer thing that I've ever done. So basically, went on to Instagram, which I rarely use. Instagram is just not one of those apps that I spend any time on. My big and only bias when it comes to social media, it's YouTube. I spend countless hours on YouTube. And all the other platforms are essentially irrelevant to me. It's not really something that I invest a lot of time in. But anyways, I decided to go onto Instagram and I just went into hashtags and I wrote #beach. because I was trying to find a hat that I could wear this summer that isn't a baseball hat. I want to wear something that's kind of grown up, but I'm like, what kind of hat can you wear on a beach? Like, I don't really know. It was kind of just a silly thing. And basically, the only thing that popped up was just a bunch of AI-generated photos of a bunch of AI women in bikinis on the beach. It got me thinking about just how much of the content that we see on social media, whether that is Facebook, whether that is Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, how much of it is just AI generated. And there's been plenty of really good videos that I've seen on this. Gooden has done a bunch of good videos about it, very entertaining ones.
I'm fearful of what AI is threatening to do to every job on Earth. I'm fearful of all these humanoid robots that keep popping up. What if one of them tries to kill me? Or worse, what if we fall in love? How am I supposed to explain that to people?
So basically on the internet right now, it seems like the general consensus, understandably so, about AI is just all negative. First of all, it's blasted in your face every 5th second. On any platform that you're going to, they have some kind of, they're trying to incorporate AI into whatever they're doing, and like wherever you go, it seems like you cannot get away from it. But also, like I said, if you're going onto Instagram, for example, increasingly more profiles are not even real.
That back there is not real.
They're run by God knows who, and their whole reason for existing seems to be for gooning and to lead you off the website into things like Patreon or OnlyFans, etc., etc. A money-making machine, let's say. And yeah, I mean, it feels kind of dystopian. It doesn't feel kind of dystopian. It is dystopian. And layered on top of this, just outside of the AI, the general optimism, I feel like, at least for my lifetime, is maybe not at an all-time low, but it's very low. It seems, at least if you look online, if you're someone who's like me, chronically online, that people are more divided than ever, and we're talking between the two sexes, we're talking along racial lines. Like, people are just turning their sights on each other and firing full force, it seems. And when you look to the future, it's hard to feel optimistic about it. It just feels like everything is going to keep getting worse and it's never going to turn, and it's really difficult to see a positive outcome. And there's a lot of uncertainty, especially when it comes to jobs and how AI is going to affect certain jobs and what is going to happen with that going forward. That makes people understandably anxious, including me. I get anxious thinking about it too much because although I feel like I can take strength and feel more at ease when I think about much more difficult things that my ancestors lived through, you know, especially coming from Sweden, it's cold. They've definitely lived through things, excluding the boomer generation, they definitely lived through things that were infinitely more harsh. However, whenever some kind of big change comes along, it's very destabilizing for a time until things have had time to settle, to be like, okay, what is going to happen? What kind of jobs are going to be pushed out? What kind of new jobs are going to be created? Like, it's really easy when you're online today to just look out and be like, every single one of your jobs is going to be replaced by AI, and that's it, period. And that's a very scary thought, because you go, okay, how is society going to continue under these circumstances? Is it just, there's just a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of anger and frustration. It's just a very negative and uncertain time. However, one thing that I've been thinking about that could actually be a really good thing that has to do with these videos that I've seen from Drew and other channels about dead internet theory is that we can actually have a good development. And what I mean by this is that I firmly believe that whenever something that I've seen several times at this point, even though I haven't really been an active user on these platforms, is when a particular platform, such as Vine, or insert a bunch of different other ones, when they become too corporatized, is that even a word? When the feeling of them become more of a corporate feeling, people end up leaving it and the platform end up dying.
Anymore, no one gives a fuck anymore. It's just another way to sell things to people, right? But you still will always find the next platform where there's real people doing real things.
Next month, my vlogs are going to be on LiveLeak, liveleak.com/Julian.
But isn't that why Vine died? Because they weren't able to monetize innately, so that like one sponsor would pay like 10 of the top Viners like a chunk of money, and they would all post on the same day. Everyone's like, Vine is dead, y'all. Vine is dead. And then Vine died. You get it? We just want to see people being people without the corporate influence.
So, a couple of years ago, Jenna Marbles, rest in internet peace, love you, in one of her podcasts, when they were talking about YouTube and restrictive mode and how that's going to affect YouTube going forward, etc., they were talking about why Vine died. And what she talks about there is that people just want to see other people being people. It's a very simple thing, but it's like, that is what led to the success of Vine to begin with. It's like people had this very short amount of time, 6 seconds or whatever it was, to be funny and come up with something really creative. And a lot of people did. It launched several very successful internet careers. It laid the groundwork for other apps to come and build upon this whole idea, such as TikTok. I mean, is TikTok a good thing? I don't know if I would say that. But my point is that people always seem to have this hunger of seeing other people just do things. Sometimes they want to see people do very interesting and impressive things, or sometimes you just want to see someone clean their house. And people watch that. They like, as long as they connect with the human being who's doing it, for whatever reason, people will watch you. And this is a really incredible thing. Like, it's just humans always seeking out some kind of connection with other people. And something that Jenna brings up in her podcast is just that whenever a platform starts to feel like it's artificial, people will pick up and they will move on because it just feels disingenuous, it feels not real, it feels like people are putting up a persona, and it's just not something that connects with people. So, how this relates to this particular AI Instagram thirst trap issue is that what I hope will happen. Most of the times when I wake up, I don't have this feeling about it, by the way. Unfortunately, most of the time when I wake up and you think about AI, I go, you know what? It's over. Everything is coming to an end. I don't even know what's going to happen, but I know it's not going to be good. And then other days, I do wake up and I'm like, you know what? Something good that could actually come out of this is that people stop to engage in these incredibly cringy fucking things that they've been doing and that have been normalized for the last couple of years. So, for example, whenever all the real women have been pushed out of Instagram and dudes are just spending a lot of time looking onto AI-generated bikini pics of AI women, or even going so far as to pay for, their Patreon or their OnlyFans. Maybe eventually you will have a sobering moment where you wake up, you splash a couple of drops of cold water on your face, you look at yourself in the mirror and you go, what the fuck am I doing? This is fucking embarrassing. I'm paying to probably some guy in like Minneapolis. I'm paying some guy in fucking, I don't know, in India, in Africa, in Europe, in the US. Some sweaty guy sitting in front of a computer creating pixels of something that looks like a woman on a beach, and I'm paying for that. How embarrassing am I? This is fucking embarrassing, and I'm embarrassed, and I should do something else with my life. This is a wake-up call. This is a wake-up call in terms of how far I have fallen as a human being, and I need to do something about it. Similarly, for the women in the situation, what I hope could be a positive outcome of all of this is that as they start to see that, wow, no matter the procedures, the filters, whatever I use, I cannot compete with these AI-generated women on a beach. That they go, wow, the fact that I was even spending a bunch of time taking off my clothes and taking pictures of myself in like suggestive poses on the beach is kind of fucking cringe. It's fucking embarrassing. I cannot believe that I was doing that and thinking about how I could execute that to a good degree. Look at me, I'm being completely destroyed by this random guy, like I said, I don't know where he lives, but my point is that you're being destroyed by a sweaty man sitting in front of his computer, artificially creating these images. And that should be a wake-up call for you to be like, you know what, maybe I should do something better with my life, and just walk away. Exactly. So my hope is that instead of people leaning in to this AI-generated takeover of social media and spend equally as much time, if not more, time and money, as they do now, that people instead lean away and they go, you know what? What the fuck is this? Like, this is so unreal in the worst way, and this is a complete waste of my time, and I should do something else. And that is really like my white pill take about this entire situation, is that people just start to see what social media, this is what it's been for a long time, by the way, with all the like filters, with all the editing, with all the plastic surgeries, etc., etc. This is what it's been for a long time. Now it's just been turned into super fucking high gear. And this whole thing is a little bit embarrassing for all of us. Like, this is such a waste of time and energy, and we should do something else with our time. So that is basically my hope. I hope that that is what happens, that people get bored, essentially. I've seen this a bunch of times with a bunch of platforms that people, for whatever reason, start to be tired of it, and they just walk away and they do something else. And that is my hope. That is my white pill take on this entire situation, is that we close this chapter of narcissism that social media has been, and we start to do other things. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not, but it could. It could. And to be honest, I have better days when I wake up and I try to envision that that is the future, instead of us doubling down and just sinking more of ourselves into this black pit of just wasted resources and time and life, wasted life. So at least today, that is how I'm deciding to look upon it, and I feel pretty good about that. So yeah, I just wanted to share a potentially positive outcome of all of this. Doesn't mean that it's gonna happen, but it could. So that's pretty much it. Moral of the story is I'm still on the hunt for a hat to wear this summer to protect my eyes, and I haven't found it. Let me know how you feel about the future. What do you think about AI? What do you think about AI's takeover of all of these social medias? Let me know. I'm super interested to just hear what you have to say about it. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
And we will go. You mark my words, boy. We will go find people being people.